Well, the Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan says that he hasn't seen movement from Sweden that would alleviate Turkiye's concerns about Stockholm's support for the PKK terror group. Now, in a phone call with the Swedish Prime Minister Magdalena Andersson, Erdogan also reiterated Turkiye's request that Sweden lift its ban on arms sales to Ankara and carry out Turkish extradition requests. Turkiye has said it would block Sweden's bid to join NATO unless it addresses Ankara's security concerns. Our diplomatic correspondent Andrew Hopkins is in Ankara and explains what this means for the NATO leaders' summit next week in Madrid.
Well, I think it means that we're unlikely to get any kind of major breakthrough or any kind of major resolution to the issues between Turkey and Finland and Sweden, because we heard there from the statement from the Turkish president that he hadn't heard anything from the Swedish government yet which would convince him to give them the Turkish government's backing to allow them to join NATO. And of course, all 30 members of NATO need to give their approval for both Sweden and Finland to join. Of course, all the parties involved, NATO, Turkey, Sweden and Finland, will be still working through all these issues. But I think from all four corners, they're probably thinking that this is not going to work out over the next 3 days and more time is needed. The Turkish government has said that the NATO summit this week was never a deadline. The NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg initially said he hoped to have it sorted out by this week, but now he's saying it's not a deadline. And from what the Finnish and Swedish government officials have been saying recently, they say some progress has been made on some issues, but not on others. So it's not looking hugely optimistic at the moment. And I think what we may see at the Leaders' Summit this week is some kind of framework announced for how they can continue with these issues, but also maybe the Finnish and Swedish application process running in parallel with the negotiations with the Turkish government.